After years of fruitless dialogue, the Tibetan issue came to global prominence in the lead-up to the 2008 Beijing Olympics.
We cannot accept the violation of human rights in Tibet, and we want to give a signal to the Chinese government that Tibet should be free, should be autonomous, and the Dalai Lama should come back to Tibet.
Western governments urged the Chinese central government to reopen dialogue with the Dalai Lama's envoys.
China needs to be open and transparent about Tibet, so far as the international community is concerned, but it also needs to engage in a positive and constructive good faith dialogue with the Dalai Lama and his representatives.
The European Parliament had asked EU leaders to boycott the opening ceremony unless China opened talks with the Dalai Lama. EU President José Manuel Barroso had a constructive meeting in Beijing with Hu Jintao, President of the People's Republic of China.
They are ready to discuss everything except sovereignty over Tibet. And so if the concern of the Dalai Lama is, as he has always stated, the respect for cultural identity, religious identity and autonomy inside China, I believe there is real room for a dialogue. So anyway, I think everybody recognizes that this is an important step and a very important one. I'm particularly happy that this was announced today, and I'm encouraged by those positive developments. But of course, this issue is a very, very difficult one. We cannot expect, let's say, breakthroughs immediate, but I think we should encourage this kind of dialogue.
The Dalai Lama's envoy had high-level talks with the Chinese central government in the southern city of Shenzhen near Hong Kong and returned feeling optimistic.
All very candid. We had very candid discussions.
How would you describe the talks? Positive, constructive, a first step?
It's always, I think, a good first step.
But the further the Olympic torch travelled around the world, the more passionate the protesters became.
Free Tibet! Free Tibet! Free Tibet! Free Tibet!
The Olympic game, right from the beginning, we fully support. So Olympic torch is part of that. Over a billion Chinese brothers sisters really feel proud of it. We must respect that. Therefore, we should not disturb that.
Despite the Dalai Lama's pleas for calm, the protests and demonstrations continued around the world. When the Olympic torch came closer to Tibet, tensions boiled over. Tibetans staged an anti-Chinese government protest and were met with the heavy hand of the Chinese police force.
As far as we know, at least a few hundred people killed in different parts of the Tibetan area after 10th March. Now at least a few thousand arrested.
The Chinese government was unapologetic for their use of force.
这样的一个行为，到底是和平的示威还是暴力的犯罪？难道杀人、纵火、抢劫、砸毁商店、学校、银行，这是和平示威吗？难道这种行为要被容忍吗？那么如果这样的行为被容忍的话，那么世界上还有没有法律？还有没有人权？还有没有公道？
Following the 2008 Beijing Olympics, talks between the Chinese central government and the Dalai Lama's envoy made no progress.
Now really showing genuine sort of support, genuine solidarity. So further sort of educate whenever you have the opportunity. That I think one thing